Let's bring in Alan Dershowitz, a Harvard Law professor, author of The Case Against Impeaching Trump. He joins us today from Martha's Vineyard up in Massachusetts. Professor, good morning to you.
Good morning.
You know, there's so much going on in the legal world right now regarding the President of the United States. We wanted to start with last week. Last week, it was revealed that the U.S. Attorney in the Southern District of New York was able to get a guilty plea from Michael Cohen. Then we found out that the Trump CFO, a fellow by the name of Alan Weisselberg, apparently he made a deal where he spilled as many beans on Michael Cohen as the prosecutors wanted. Where are we with the Southern District of New York, which is different than the Mueller investigation?
Well, I've said from day one that the greatest risk to President Trump, his presidency, and his businesses are in the Southern District of New York, not with Mueller. Remember, the Mueller investigation all involves issues that have constitutional defenses. He had the right to fire Comey. He had the right to exercise his presidential authority. There is no collusion. He was entitled to have dealings with foreign countries if in fact he did. The problem is that with the Southern District, there are no constitutional defenses. These are business investigations. And of course, the president can't be indicted, but his businesses can be indicted. They can look into loans that he may have secured, foreign investments, foreign involvements, and he has fewer defenses. That's why from day one I've said, we never needed a special prosecutor or a special counsel. The U.S. Attorney's Office can do all the investigations that are necessary. And if I were Trump's lawyers, I'd be focusing all of my defense efforts on the Southern District and let the Mueller probe go. I don't think it's going anywhere. But the Southern District raises some real red flags for Trump's businesses. Look, my friend Harvey Silverglate wrote a book called 3 Felonies a Day, saying if the U.S. Attorney's Office investigates any business, they're going to find 3 felonies a day. That's the way the laws are written. If you look hard enough, you're going to find something, and they're looking very, very hard.
Well, they're looking at how the campaign finance. We know that. They're trying to see Michael Cohen. Did he kind of finance that? We know they're looking at the Trump Organization. The Manhattan Attorney General is doing that. Maryland, there's an investigation into possible emoluments clause. And then they have the Trump Foundation. The New York Attorney General is looking into that. Alan, I'm looking at this, I'm saying, okay, why? Why do you need to get to the bottom of this now? All those things were good or bad before he ran. This is an attack on a president because you don't like him. Why is that allowed?
Well, there's no doubt about that. They have targeted the president. They have targeted his business. Some of them are trivial. The emoluments clause business, forget about it. That's going nowhere. Again, he has a constitutional defense. The vulnerability is in the business, and they have targeted. They have said, look, we've known about Mr. Trump's business dealings for years. We've never looked into them. But now we're going to start looking into them. I don't think the campaign contributions are going anywhere. The president has the right to make any campaign contributions he wants. The worst thing they'll find is a failure to report, and that's on the treasurer of the campaign, not on the candidate himself. But the vulnerabilities are, if you look deeply into any complicated business, you're going to find a loan somewhere in which income is overstated, liabilities are understated, at least in the opinion of some expert. And that's where the vulnerabilities are going to lie.
But what happens to our republic? I mean, we're criminalizing political differences. We're weaponizing government. What's the outcome for us as a people? Because if I'm an independent businessman who's ever thought about running, I'm never doing this because, as you said, you can look through all your things and find something.
Look, the biggest crime you can commit in America today is to have been associated with Donald Trump. If you're associated with Donald Trump, they're going to Manafort you, they're going to Cohen you, they're going to do all of these things to you, and they're going to look hard, and they're going to search, and they're going to stretch. And, you know, maybe they'll find something, maybe they won't. Is anybody really Caesar's wife above all reproach? I think the only people who are going to run for office now are going to be independently wealthy people who don't have to rely on their businesses, or people who come from backgrounds where there is no vulnerability at all. But businessmen are going to be deterred from running for office because they know it's going to result in a kind of legal colonoscopy of everything they've done from the day they started out in business. And they're going to go beyond the statute of limitations because they're going to allege RICO violations. I've been through this. They usually do it with the mafia. It's the Al Capone approach. If we can't get them on the grounds that we'd really like to get them on, let's go after them on taxes. Let's go after them on business. It's targeting people. And if they can target President Trump, they can target you. They can target anyone. Well, that's the problem.
Alan, as you were talking about the Southern District of New York, the U.S. attorney there, can't, you know, the president may not have legal peril there, but what about his family? Because his family currently is running the business.
His family, his friends, his business, they can go after the money in his business. They can start attaching assets. That's what the U.S. Attorney's Office often does when they're going after a business person. They're going to try to flip more witnesses. And remember, as Judge Ellis said, when you flip a witness, the witness may not only sing, he may compose, he may elaborate and come up with more stories. And then you go and search every document and you find one problem in a little document. And suddenly we're into RICO land, where you can go back 10 years, you can take all the money they've earned over that period of time. Nobody, as Learned Hand once said, short of surgery, the one thing he would fear the most is an investigation of this kind.
Does the Southern District of New York have a boss?
There's a boss. The boss is recused in the case, and most of the people who are looking into this are civil servants.
But it's not Russia.
Well, there's no Russia investigation.
So why
here.
doesn't the Attorney General crack down?
Well, the Attorney General could. Well, the question really is, it's an interesting one that you pose. The Attorney General has recused himself because of Russia. But I think he's probably recused himself from the whole investigation, so it's not clear he can't. In any event, Attorneys General don't really have power over day-to-day civil servant assistant U.S. attorneys. Remember, the U.S. attorney in the Southern District is also recused, so it's one of his deputies who's conducting this investigation. I don't think there's all that much the president can do here to stop the investigation. I think people who support President Trump ought to hope that the businesses were conducted entirely above board. Or if there are minor violations, they're corporate violations, not personal violations. But the president has to be focused on this, concerned about this, and the legal strategy has to be looking at the Southern District more than looking at the Mueller investigation, because the defenses to the Mueller investigation are constitutional in nature, and the president can't be indicted. But the investigations in New York don't have the same kind of constitutional defenses.
Well, I think the American people want to focus on the country, but you're saying he needs to be focused on this. Thank you, Professor.
Well, he has to do both.
He does.
He has to do both.
He's got to get a legal aid team.